Welcome, Crafty Friends. Annie Collins here. Today we're going to create this card. We're using from Pajama Crafter stamps the awareness stamp. This stamp contains 4 images. It has this large ribbon with the wings, the small ribbon, and 2 stars. It has great sentiments like strength, faith, fighter, hope, believe, brave, strong, warrior, and it has 2 ampersands, a nice thin one and a nice bold one. That is the stamp. Today we're going to use the one with the wings and the word warrior. This is great for just highlighting anything that needs awareness. We have a lot of different things that can be used for this. And you can use the singular ribbon for in yellow for our veterans. All right, so let me move this because it's freaking out my camera. All right, we're going to also use the Marshmellow cardstock. I have the small pack, which is already pre-cut panels. I will link this, the large and the small for you. All right, so I already have the Marshmellow cardstock cut down. I use a die from my stash. And then I have coordinating colors to go with my card today. So I have this nice blue and that will match our white here. And then I have a 4 1/4 by 4 1/4 card made from this green cardstock. This will layer perfectly underneath. And that's the size of our card today. So my awareness ribbon is going to be for IIH. And I'll explain to you a little bit more. But the colors for that ribbon is blue and green, or I'm using shades of blue and green. And I have more of the Marshmellow cardstock for our sentiment. Some coordinating bling, and our alcohol markers. Today I'll be using Olos, and I have 2 shades of green and 2 shades of blue. I will go over each of the colors with you, of course, and I will have those linked below. When I'm coloring, I'll put my caps up so that you can see. All right, so let me clear this so we can go ahead and get started with our card. I'm going to bring in my stamping platform here, and we're going to stamp our image first and then our sentiment. So I'm going to get this on here on my sticky mat. And apparently my sticky mat isn't so sticky anymore. You'll see here, I go to stamp and everything comes with me. I make adjustments. I'll be using Memento ink for stamping my image because we're coloring with alcohol markers. And I'll use VersaFine Onyx Black for our sentiment. That is not an alcohol-friendly ink, just so you know. All right, so I'm going to center this more towards the top because I want my sentiment to go below the ribbon. So here you see, everything came up. So I go to adjust it and I realize not so sticky. But first I play I can stick this down. It'll work. And then I realize it's not going to line up how I want it. So I start over. That's when I figure out it's my mat that isn't so sticky. So I flip it. That helps some because this little portion here is sticky still. But I think it's time to get a new mat. All right, so line this up again towards the top. And then I go ahead and I'm able to stamp. So I pick up my image, make sure everybody's lined up one more time. And since this is a new stamp because it's from the new release, I'm rubbing my palm of it on it just to prime it, so to speak. I'm inking it up with the Memento, and I'm going to do this twice. I like to stamp all my images twice just to get nice, crisp, dark image. Plus, these are a little bit more bold lines, so it's a thicker stamp. So you want to make sure you get it completely inked up. Now that it's all done, I can set it aside, bring in my other piece of white paper to stamp my sentiment. That will be, and I used my VersaFine ink. So I'm going to use the one that says Warrior. So I'm going to line that up and go ahead and ink it up. And now, again, we'll stamp this twice because it's a bold font. So I want to make sure to do it twice. And I'm using my press buddy here, the little froggy. That's from Pajama Crafters. She has a variety of different ones. I know she's got some new ones in that were part of the new release. So be sure to check it out. All right, so here's our image. Now we're going to color. Now I sped this up a bit because, I want you to get through this in a timely manner. All right, I'm going to start with our greens. Our greens are YG 1.4 and YG 1.6. I start out with my lighter one, which is 1.4, and I fill in part of the ribbon because of the ribbon goes into two colors. So we're going to do that. And then I go in with the darker, the 1.6 to create my shadows. And that's where we add those. And then we blend it out again with the lighter. Simple coloring, two colors, super easy. Now, there you go. And then I will color in with the blue ones, which are BG04 and BG07. Now, IIH, you're thinking, what is that? Never heard of it. It's a rare disease that your brain creates excessive brain fluid, excessive cerebral spinal fluid, and it doesn't get absorbed. We normally create some throughout the day, and our body absorbs it and gets rid of it. But for whatever the reason, the brain is misfiring and creating excessive amounts, and you cannot get rid of it fast enough. I unfortunately suffer from this, and I have a few friends that do. So I'm creating this card for another friend who is now going to go through the same surgery I went through. And she's quite scared. So I'm reminding her that she can get through this. She's got this. She's a warrior. This is not a curable disease. It is, unfortunately, a forever one. But this ribbon can be used for a great variety of different causes, breast cancer or cancer in general, lupus. You can use it, for any variety of, awareness that you want to bring. So I'm going to continue the coloring on the wings similar to the colors we use for the ribbon. It's the same colors. I brought in no other markers. And finish that off. So another person you may know who is popular, who recently got diagnosed with this similar disease, is Billy Joel. He brought it with his announcement that he has it. It came to the forefront, and now people are more aware of it. IIH is a neurological disease, so it affects your brain, affects your coordination. If left untreated, you can go blind and death from it. I was caught mid through. Finally, someone listened to me. It's one that a lot of people don't, not a lot of people, a lot of doctors don't understand or know aware of it and don't take it as serious as they should be. So I was caught just before I went blind. So it was a long brain surgery. I had to have two to get through a more reasonable point in my life. I still am dealing with it and will continue to deal with it for the rest of my life. All right, so we're almost done. That's enough of that. I don't share very much about myself, so that's kind of weird. All right, we're almost done with our coloring. Just finished blending those two colors out, and then we'll continue with our card. There we go. I'm adding the last little bit there. I want to make sure that the two colors, the blue and the green, blend nicely. There it is. It's all finished. Now I'm going to bring in our sentiment. Again, you can create this for any of the other things you want to bring awareness. And then if you use the one with the wings, the ribbon with the wings, you can blend those colors in like I did. All right, so for the sentiment, I'm going to fussy cut it. So I'm going to quickly fussy cut this. And first I trim away any of the excess cardstock, and then I'm just going to just fussy cut it all the way around because I'm going to pop this up. So this is me fussy cutting. Normally, this is hard for me right now because I like I said, I have vision issues. So I need to bring the image, the item closer for me to see. So I'm hoping I'm doing a good job here, considering that it's pretty far from me to fussy cut. I'm trying to fussy cut on camera so that you can see it, but it's difficult for me to see. So I'm just about done here. And then I'll clean up any edges that need to be cleaned up really quickly. And then I'll put foam adhesive on the back of this and pop it up towards the bottom. There we go, all done. And it's going to find its home right there. All right, so now let's go ahead and build our card. So I'm going to bring in the rest of the components for our card. And now this little die here, the little flowers pop up. So I want to clean out the centers because I'll put little gems there and pop up the little petals. I'm going to bring in my Barely Art glue and I'm going to adhere this to the green card base. So this has that little edge that's really fine. So I'm going to just put little bits of glue there on that little, see those little edges right there on that. It's a beautiful die. It's from my stash here, but it's very delicate. So really fussy. All right, so I'm going to line this up. Try to get it as lined up as possible, making sure it's centered, and press it down. And as you can see, it's quite fussy, and it's not quite wanting to lay all the way down. So I'm going to go get an acrylic block from that I have in my stash, and I'll lay it on top to make sure it catches. This is just going to hold it. This is not an acrylic block that you use for stamping. So it's just a regular heavyweight type thing. All right, I'm going to bring in my gems and have those ready. And while this is sitting on here, I'm going to put the foam adhesive behind my sentiment. I just got a foam adhesive strip. Trim away any excess that I do not need. Save that for something else. And here we go. I'll remove the backing, have that ready. And this should be set. So I'm going to, there we go. We can go ahead and add our image to that. And it has like little dashed details so you know that you're centered. You just line it all up, press it in place. There we go. And now we can, I'm going to put my little gems in the center of my flowers before I put my sentiment down. I think I just didn't realize, oops, I forgot to put my sentiment. There we go. And then I realized my sentiment is not lined up. So I have to pick it up and adjust it. I think, yep, there it is. And now I can go ahead and put my centers on my flowers. Here we go. And just putting the green ones so that they pop off the blue flowers. And then I put a mixture of blue and green around our ribbon. So I'm going to put a green one there, and then I'll put some blue ones as well. And of course, that one stuck to my finger because crafting is always so smooth. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and put a little bit, one more here, a little bit more glue, and I'm going to pick a bigger gem to put there. And now our card is complete. So you can do the same thing to coordinate with any colors you choose to do your ribbon. So again, we used the Marshmellow cardstock. That's what we use to stamp our image because it's alcohol friendly cardstock. And we use the awareness stamp for our card today. You can use this for a variety of things you want to bring awareness to. I will have everything linked for you in the description box below so that you too can pick up this stamp. Here's another look at our card. Thank you for being here, and I hope you found some inspiration.